Hey rich girls, Kirby here, and today we are going to have a very candid discussion on whether or not weddings are worth the money and the hype. This is Rich Girl's Guide, where we demystify the world of personal finance to help you create a financially successful and fulfilling life. I'm your host, Kirby Delicano, and I worked in wealth management for over 6 years before leaving the office to focus on my business and my family. Now, before I go off of the rails, I already know some of y'all are going to do some digging. Yes, I had a big wedding with the florals, the bridesmaids, the cake, all of the normal traditional wedding bullshit that you might think of when you hear the word wedding. Did I enjoy it? We'll get to that in a bit. But I do need to say thank you to my parents and my in-laws for footing the bill. My husband and I essentially had to pay nothing. And when I tell you that is the only reason we had a big wedding, well, one of the only 2 reasons why we had a big wedding. Before I get on my soapbox, please let me know in the comments. What do you think of the big expensive weddings? Did you have one? Was it worth it? Let me know because I am dying to know your opinions. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, Kirby, didn't you want the big wedding with the fairy tale princess ball gown? Haven't you been dreaming of this day since you were a little girl? Honestly, no. I definitely had a Pinterest board like in high school and college, but honestly, that was more so for my photography business. I do wedding photography on the side, which I absolutely love. I would have been happy getting married at the courthouse, which is actually what we did a year before our big wedding, or eloping in Europe with just my husband and having a wonderful, intimate ceremony and vacation, just the 2 of us. Unfortunately for me, I decided to fall in love with a Long Island Italian man, and with that comes a big wedding and even more drama. I'm not going to get into too much detail. I have honestly blacked out most of that wedding weekend, so I actually don't think I could relay a lot of the festivities that went down. But to keep it short and sweet, I had so much anxiety the day of my wedding that I could not eat any of the dinner that we had picked out. I did not get to taste any of my wedding cake, and I think I was able to keep down like half a glass of wine in the afternoon. I ended up throwing up probably 10 times throughout the day. It was all from nerves, which I had never experienced that level of anxiety before, but because I was 6 months postpartum, oh yeah, did I forget to mention I had a 6-month-old baby at the time, and because of that, everyone kept asking me if I was pregnant again. I was young, I was inexperienced, I was busy juggling a newborn and a full-time job, and I let a lot of people tell me how the day was supposed to go. Would I change anything? Honestly, probably not. And this is the biggest reason why.
Hey, babe.
Hey, okay, so you're on the podcast right now, you're on speaker.
Of course.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
No wrong answers.
I don't believe that.
What has been the single best day of your life so far?
Single best day, just one day.
Just one day.
Okay, I'm going to preface this. We have 2 kids, so I'm not going to pick one of their births.
Although we both have a favorite.
We do not.
Not favorite kid, but favorite birthday.
I feel like both were terrible for you.
Both of those days were better than the day that I think you're going to say right now.
Okay, so not the day I proposed.
No, that was a great day.
Not any of the days in Spain while you were 6 months pregnant.
That was fun. I liked that.
Those were fun. Then probably our wedding day.
See, that's what I figured. And do you think that's my favorite day of my life so far?
I mean, considering you threw up all over the wedding hall, I'd say no.
All right. Yep. Yeah, good answer, babe. All right. My husband has always wanted a big wedding, and our parents were willing to foot the bill. So in my head, I'm like, what could go wrong? Apparently a lot. So because of my experience with a big wedding that I did not want, and as a wedding photographer that has attended and or worked at nearly 100 weddings over the past 8 years, I feel somewhat qualified to give a very biased opinion on the matter. Am I a little salty? Yes. Yes, I am. If you are a blushing bride who is super excited to be planning your wedding, a newly engaged fiance who wants to have the big day with all the things, maybe skip the rest of this episode because I'm not going to be sugarcoating anything. Keeping on the topic of money, here are a few facts for you. According to The Knot, the average wedding in 2022 cost $30,000, including both the ceremony and the reception. To put that into perspective, in 2022, the median household income was $74,580, according to the ASEC. While 40 to 50% of marriages end in divorce, according to the American Psychological Association, of those folks, roughly 50% will get remarried within 5 years of their divorce. Now, I could not find any reliable statistics on the average cost of those second weddings, but I'm sure those of you listening know at least one couple who had a big shebang for a second wedding, just as I myself have seen and attended many. The average American has a credit card debt totaling $6,295. Last but not least, let me read you a blurb from LendingTree. LendingTree has found that 45% of newlyweds between the ages of 18 and 53 went into debt to pay for their wedding. Once married, nearly half of the newlyweds who obtained wedding-related debt said money has caused them to consider divorce. Now, am I blanketly telling everyone to not have a big wedding because you will get into debt and you will get divorced?
Don't have sex, because you will get pregnant and die.
Absolutely not. But I do think that the default of everyone, especially family, assuming that you need to have a big fancy wedding and pushing that expectation onto young couples needs to stop. These young couples often don't know how to say no to their older family members, especially if they are the ones footing a majority or all of the bill. Even if the couple is only contributing a small amount to the wedding, a lot of them don't know just how much the extra details, the extra guests, just the extra random shit that adds up at the end of the day. Here's my unpopular opinion. If both sets of parents of the individuals getting married are willing to contribute $15,000 for a one-day event, why not give the couple a chance to instead choose the cash and put a down payment on a home? Why not let the couple spend $5,000 on a nice elopement and vacation that they will actually enjoy and then gift them the remaining $25K? Why is the default to spend all of that money on a day that might live up to expectations, might result in a happy, long marriage 50% of the time, and might be looked back at fondly from time to time? I just don't understand how the expectation and the default is the uber expensive wedding day and not the other way around. Here are my final thoughts on weddings. If the couple getting married both want to pay for a wedding, they are able to cover the cost or family is able to help cover. No one is going into debt to cover any part of the festivities. The couple gets to design a day that is representative of themselves. No one is bullying or putting pressure on the couple to do anything that they don't want to do. And the couple stays together until death. Then, and only then, do I personally think a wedding is worth the money. I have no way of putting a percentage of the number of weddings that would include, but if I had to guess, it might be in the single digits. Again, this is just my opinion. Please sound off in the comments on what you think about these absurdly expensive weddings. Are they worth the money? Should young couples be going into debt to get their big princess moment? I did not touch on the surrounding people that also get caught up in spending money out of their on weddings, bridesmaids, groomsmen, bachelor and bachelorette parties, not to mention all of the guests who need to travel, find accommodations, and give a gift to the couple. If that is something you'd be interested in hearing more about, let me know in the comments because I would be more than happy to do a deep dive on these topics. All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back on Monday with a brand new episode. Till then, have a wonderful weekend. Later, rich girls.